हे एवरीवन, कैसे आप लोग। मेरा नाम है आकाश एंड आई वेलकम यू ऑल टू दिस चैनल. So friends, in this video we'll be solving another React machine coding question. So we'll be coding this particular question. The name is File Explorer. Let's have a look. So we are given an array of file objects and we have to build a component that displays them in a hierarchical tree format. So before going into this, let's have a look at what we want to build. So the name written in bold, these are directories, and the name written with like normal font size are files. And inside our directories, we can have children. Children basically we can have files, and we can have another folders as well. And inside those folders, we can have files. Cool. So let's have a look at the statement now, problem statement. So it's saying that there are like two types of objects, files and directories. And files are like leaf nodes having no children. Directories can contain another objects, and those objects could be either files or directories. Cool. Now let's have a look at the requirements. So the content of the directory should be displayed in a manner such that it indicates that it belongs within the directory. So the contents like this particular files, it should be slightly like margin right, so that it's giving us a hint that yes, it's a part of this directory, and it can be expanded or collapsed when we are going to click on it. And directory should appear before files. So for example, uh, if we have a look at this, we have this file and these are the directories. So directories should come before, then we should be having files over here. And all items should be sorted alphabetically. Okay. And apart from that, it's saying that styling doesn't matter. Main focus should be on functionality. Directories can be empty. Files are not expandable and cannot be interacted with. Focus is not on functionality and only on the styling. Sorry, not on styling, only on the functionality. So yeah, this is the interface given, like ID, name, children. We will have a look at this particular thing. Cool. And this is a problem given by Yangshun. I don't know how to pronounce it, Tay or Tai. Okay, ex Meta staff engineer. So let's have a look at the like app.js. If you have a look at the app.js, then a simple data is given to us. Let's have a look. So we have the ID. It's an array of object. It's an array of object. We have ID, we have name, and this is the file. Why this is a file? Because it doesn't contain children array. If we have a look at this, then this is a directory. Why? Because it has children array, and inside that children array, we have files, two objects. Now if we have a look at this, inside this we have like another directory, and inside this directory we have one file unnamed.txt, and we have one folder or directory miscellaneous, and inside this miscellaneous we have like further two children which are files. We are going to have fun while coding this, so stay tuned and do watch this video till the end. So right now we are given this file explorer. So okay, so this is the file explorer, in which if we have a look, we are taking data as a prop, and this is the like use state displaying hello world, and this is displaying the message and stringified null data. So we don't need any of this. We are going to simply remove this, and we don't need this state. What we need is open. Set is open, and the value we can give it as false by default. Cool, something like this. Now what we can do over here, so I will be running a loop on this data, yes, I will be running a loop. So what we can do is simply data dot map item, and inside this we can simply have our file explorer. Data dot map. Okay, so over here also we can have like, okay, cool. So we have got, we are simply running a loop on this particular data, and to our file explorer component we are going to pass these files and directories, right? And then we are going to perform operations. We are going to basically check whether it's a file and whether it's a directory. If it's a file, then we are going to handle it in a separate way. If it's a directory, we are going to handle it in a separate way. So first we can do is give a key, and it will be item dot id, and over here also what we can do, data equals item. Cool. Now let's come to file explorer. Inside this file explorer, what logic we can apply is we can simply check item dot children, or we can say let's create a boolean value that is const is folder. So what we are going to do is data. So the data that we are getting, data dot children, and we are going to use this to convert this to boolean. So now we are going to know that whether that particular data or item that we are getting is children or not. Now we can do is that particular item dot, sorry, is folder. If it's a folder, then we are simply going to create one div, right, like this. Else we are going to create another section, and over here also we can create a div. Cool. So if it's a folder, then we are going to like, what we can do, let's give it a style first, few styles. We can use class also, but there are like not much styles, so I will handle it like this. Cursor, pointer, font weight, bold. Cool. And inside this, item, sorry, we have data. So inside our data, as we know, we have name. So if we have a look over here, inside our data we have name. So we're simply going to render it, and we are also going to check if it's open. Then we are going to render like minus, or else plus. It's a part of the UI. Cool. Now let's copy this over here. What we are going to do is we are going to give it margin left of 10 pixel because it's a file, and over here comes our item. It's a file, right? It's breaking, it's saying item not sorry, it's data dot name. So we have got readme. Okay, let's, cool. Now this particular portion is done. Now what we can do is let's add one more thing, on click, and inside this what we can do is simply toggle our open, set is open to is open, like this. So yeah, minus plus. Now apart from this, what else we can do is over here, now we have to check if we are going to click on like this particular directories, and then after that we have to check whether it's having a children or not. If it is having a children, then we have to call this component recursively again, and we have to pass the same internal data, like the data inside this children, to this particular file explorer, as we have done over here. So let's code it. What we can do, we are simply going to check is open, and data dot children, and if we have children, then what we can do, data dot children dot map, And now inside this, we are simply going to call this file explorer again. And we can pass the same, like we can add the key that will be this child dot id, and we are passing the data that will be child. Cool, something like this. Now let's have a look. Now when we click it, so yes, we are getting inside the data inside it, because you can have a look like inside documents we have like word.doc, PowerPoint, and inside this also we are getting foo.txt, bar.txt, and we click on this, it gets collapsed. One more thing we can do is uh, like have a style over here as well. It will be margin left. Let's give it. You can style it as per your, as per your need. So cool, it's working. But if we have a look at the requirement, it specified that directories should appear before files. So for that, I hope this particular code is clear. It's a simple like if else condition. If it's folder, then we are doing this. If it is a file, then we are doing this. And if we are clicking on directory and if it has children, we are simply recursively calling the component. Now, one last thing that we have to do is sort the items. So sort items, and over here what we can do, return. Let's code first, then we will try to see what we have done. A comma B. Okay, it's a simple sorting. Now inside this, we can simply do is a folder. We are checking actually if the first item is folder or not. So for that, we can simply have children. Similarly, Control C, Control V. What we can do is if B is a folder, and yeah, this particular logic. Now we can simply do if a folder, like if a is not equals to b, return is a folder. If it is a folder, then -1 or 1. Cool. Else return a dot name dot local compare b dot name. And finally this sort items will come over here. Uh, okay, items is not defined, sorry. Now, as we can see, earlier we had like file first, then folders, but now the order is maintained. So let's have a look now. So what we have done is let's open the. So what we are doing over here, we are simply checking like first of all we have checked that if it is not equals to a is not equals to b, which means like let's say if a is a folder and b is a file. So if a is a folder, which means that a has to come before b. That's why we are returning -1 else 1. If a is a file, let's say if yeah, if in case if a is a file, then what will happen is we are going to return 1, which means that it has to come after b. You can also have a look at the same over here. If a is less than b, so it's returning -1, which means that a has to come before b, so no sorting will happen. But if it a is greater than b, so a will have to come after b, and that's why we are returning 1. Plus similarly, um, let's say if both of them are like equal, like both of them are folders or both of them are files, then we have to sort them alphabetically. So that's why we have used local compare. uh, so it returns a number indicating whether a string comes before or after or is the same as the given string in sort order. So for that, we can use this local compare. Plus, friends, if you want to connect with me for like one to one or any mock interview, so you can connect with me over this particular link. So, friends, this is it for this particular video. And if you have learned something new, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.